gracefully rise as the guests arrive. His Excellency Suhail Muhammad Al-Zaruri.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum to everyone.
Walaikum assalam.
Thank you very much for inviting me here. I'm so happy coming here and see all the students here. About UAE. UAE is a country for everyone. It's not just for Emirati, for everyone. We welcome you are from any country or any religion. So we welcome to everyone here in this country, and we believe all Emiratis that we are brothers and sisters, even you are from any religion. Because we are human first, and then our religion comes. So it's a message also for all the students. If you want to be successful in your life, you have to, first thing you have to respect. You have to respect, of course, everyone, they respect their parents. But same time, you have to respect your teachers. Same respect what you are giving respect to your parents. Then your country and country you are living. And especially your friends. So your friends are from any countries, any religion. You have to respect all the religion, you have to respect all your friends. Then you will be inshallah successful. Thank you very much.
دبي التعليمية إلى القيادة الحكيمة لدولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة.
The four colors of the UAE flag are red, green, white, and black. The color red represents the Hashemite dynasty. It symbolizes bravery, strength, courage, and the ability to fight for what is right and to defend what must be safeguarded. The vertical red band is also interpreted as binding together the other three colors of the UAE flag. The color green represents the Fatimid dynasty. The warlike red is immediately counterbalanced by the top green stripe across the flag, and it symbolizes hope, joy, optimism, love, and the prosperity of UAE. The color white represents the Umayyad dynasty. White stands for purity. It represents peace and honesty. It is also known to symbolize the generosity and humanitarian works carried out in the UAE. The color black represents the Abbasid dynasty. This is the color of solidarity. It signifies the defeat of enemies and the strength of mind. As the story goes, the UAE flag was designed by a young engineer named Abdullah Muhammad Al-Maina after a contest was announced by the government that involved creating a union flag 2 months prior to the formation of the country. Out of 1,030 entries, Mr. Abdullah Al-Maina's design was selected as the national flag of UAE. Mr. Abdullah Al-Maina went on to become a member of the UAE cabinet and has served as a UAE ambassador for many different countries. The UAE flag was raised for the first time by our country's founding father, His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. Every year, the country celebrates its Flag Day on the 3rd of November, which also corresponds with the date His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan became the president of the country. I would like to end here by stating that the UAE flag reflects the ambitions and hopes of citizens and expatriates living on this land. And as a resident of this country, I salute the national flag with pride, love, and respect in my heart. Thank you.
And that's a lovely question, Karishma. I'm glad you asked me that. It gives me time to reflect on this lovely question. People say UAE is a second home. People say UAE is home away from home. But for me, UAE is the first home, and it is home. The reason just being that I have spent almost more than 3 decades in this country. I came here on the 1st of January 1986. How can I forget that day? And I came very, very nervous, very, very unsure of myself, unsure of this new place that I will be stepping into. Over time, UAE has groomed me in a way that has really is unimaginable, and it has made me very, very confident of myself. And you see the growth. I'm sitting here as a principal today. This is what UAE has done to me. It has provided me with tremendous opportunities and given me a free place to explore myself and to discover myself. I'm extremely indebted to UAE. I'm extremely happy living here, and I have absolutely no regrets at all. So I love UAE. It is my country, and I will do anything I possibly can for the good of the country.
As all of you know, UAE was formed on 2nd December 1971 with 6 emirates coming together, followed by 7th Emirate, Ras Al Khaimah, in 1972. In fact, I'm glad you all know, UAE is celebrating 50 and India is celebrating 75 in the coming year. The relationship between India and UAE belongs almost from 5,000 years, means it starts from 3000 BC. The trade, barter trade, which started between Indian continent and the Arab world. See, after when you study the geography of India, the very next sea towards the west is called Arabian Sea only. Why? That was, once you cross that sea, you are into the Arab world. So the UAE was the first country with which the forefathers of India established the connect. Even in the recent past history of say 1500, it's about 500 years back or so, the India and UAE had a wonderful relationship. The Hampi Empire, from where the Karnataka this school comes from, had a wonderful relationship with the United Arab Emirates. Then it was all separate provinces were there, led by different people. And coming back to the very recent past, in the sense, both India and UAE were ruled by British rule. That's about, say, for UAE it is 50 years back, and for India it was 75 years back. Both of us were ruled by same British people. And as pointed out by the student, till 1973, means even after post-independence of UAE, the Indian rupee was the official currency in UAE. And RN has listed many developments of UAE in the last 50 years. I believe he just missed another 2 feathers in the cap of the UAE, which happened in the last week or last 15 days back. One is post this Expo 2020, which deals with sustainability as its main theme, sustainability, opportunity and mobility. The UAE has bagged another big event of the globe, and which is a most important event for the future generation, that is the Conference on Climate Change. In 2023, the Conference on the Climate Change is happening in Dubai, UAE. Another most important feather which just happened 2 days back, feather to the UAE cap, is the United Nations has recognized 2nd December 1971 as the International Year of the Future. Means the National Day of UAE has been considered as the future day. Means that is how the globe is looking at the UAE, wherein if you look at the demography of the United Arab Emirates, almost 30% of the population is filled up by we Indians. The major role played by the Indians in the development of UAE has been a tremendous. Of course, with the vision of the rulers of UAE, we have, see there is, in biology, in the sense, any plant, if you leave it at its own place, it doesn't grow. So we Indians are also like that. Means from nursery, it should come and you should put that plant in some other place, then only the plant grows. That is where we Indians always have shown it. In any country abroad, including UAE, Indians have done a tremendous contribution in the development of the global economy. The culture of India and UAE resembles in the sense what today His Excellency Al-Zaruri told, in UAE we consider everybody as brothers and sisters irrespective of their religion, caste, creed, whatever it is. The same philosophy was told by Swami Vivekananda way back in 1893 while addressing the World Religious Conference. He addressed the entire globe, my brothers and sisters, that enthralled the entire global community. It's really a proud moment for all of us to be part of the celebration of the Golden Jubilee year of this great nation.
As we near the end of the event, on behalf of the entire JSSIS family, I would like to thank His Excellency Suhail Muhammad Al-Zaruni for gracing us with his presence. Being expats, we would definitely agree with your words, sir, that UAE is a country for everyone. I would also like to thank the CEO, SAO, principal, vice principal, supervisors and teachers for their ever-ready guidance and support. Finally, we thank our dear students for being a wonderful audience.